when you are selecting like the general purpose SSD is there, and at the time, why it is not showing like the how much it is going to charge for, not charge to me?
No, I actually what it does is you can actually calculate that. You have something kind of calculator.
Hi, Ashok.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Ashok.
yeah, go ahead.
Ashok, that general purpose SSD and magnetic, you can go through by AWS S3 calculator, where you can get
Correct.
the how much the cost for that
Okay,
file
okay.
system, right? This
So,
is the
So that you will
if you basically on a whole on a real time we go with the magnetic. Later the point we can change that magnetic to general purpose SSD.
okay, okay. So because what I understand that like no
that is
AWS.
very valid question. That is very valid question actually. Whenever we are doing also, we are also thinking that how do we optimize the cost? But however, there is no other option here. Probably you'll have to go with the whatever calculator is told, right? As the calculator, that is the one.
Okay,
So
okay,
actually
got
you can, yeah, that we will cover as we learn in our course. That we will cover how do you calculate and all. Okay.
it. Okay.
This is a basic one. Okay. So we will go ahead. Let me introduce Suresh also. Suresh also is a working professional. He's also an solution architect certified person, and he's actually mostly into migration of AWS. Okay, he is part of our team. Actually, Suresh was supposed to give you demo, but today Suresh got a little late today, so I actually took it. Okay, so going ahead. Okay, so this is adding a tag. Okay, so I'm just giving some tag here. You can give your, for example, if it is a development testing or something like that, how you can identify your machine if you are having so many right machines. So you can just give some name here, random name, so that you can identify your name out of 100 200 machines. If you know that application is this machine, then how do you find out in your console? Okay, so anytime Suresh and Chandra, you have any doubt, you can stop us. Okay, and you can clarify. We will try to clarify in the demo how much we can. Okay, so a security group, as the name suggests, is nothing but it is like a firewall. Okay, so you are actually getting the option where you want to open the port. Okay, by default it is taking 22, because if we don't give 22, we will not be able to connect. Similarly, if you are taking some Windows instance, it will give something like 3309, I think. That is for RDP. Okay, so similarly here it is 22. Okay, so what I will do is I will take something like randomly if you want, and already few are there, or let's go with the one and create one. Okay, and then
Can you click on the type? I just want to see what else,
yeah,
what types are there.
sure. Type where you want to see this one.
That's
Okay,
like
this one. Okay,
SH is there, like the security
yeah,
shell, right?
yeah.
And what else is there other than security shell? So SSH.
Okay, correct. So what happens is by default SSH is enabled, but then if you see here, the two things that actually very much used in most of the environment is HTTP and HTTPS. HTTPS is has been used more. Okay, and then mostly people who have this MS SQL, or they have MySQL, they use this. If I'm using a Windows machine, then it is RDP. Okay, 3389. However, if I have something like which is not mentioned here, port. For example, if I'm using an ELK, okay, an ELK, if I want to, Kibana, I want to enable 65601 port, then I go with something like custom ports. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so I will take something like this and I will give some this thing and I will proceed. Okay, so that is one thing. If you
Yeah,
can see here, yeah, you're able to see, right? So mostly services are there.
yeah, I can see. Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Then once I am done with this, I will click on review. I will check, okay, what is the review that I can do here, whether I want or not. I will check the instances type, storage, any last moment change is there. Okay, change of requirement or change of mind. I can just do, and I can see on launch. Okay, so if you see here, so it will ask you whether you want to create a key pair. Okay, so usually we use system for username and password, but here mostly in cloud, if you are seeing, then it is key pair. So what it does is it will give us a key, and it will ask us to use that key to connect to EC2 instance. So already I have one key, I will select that key one. All this information is there down. You can see, you know, in if you talk about this thing availability zone, then it is like your data center. Okay, so you will have multiple availability zones, and it will be region. Okay, if you see here, you have so many regions. You have Virginia, Ohio, California, Oregon, and they keep adding it. Okay, I think it is more than 40 now that they have a region. Okay, so you can always have this one, and each region will have a different high availability. In Mumbai, it was actually AP South 1A, South 1B, but now recently, I think a month back, they added one South 1C also, one more data center. So high availability increases. So that is one thing. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
have a
if you,
question.
yeah, go ahead, please.
Since you are like living in Mumbai or Hyderabad or something, it is which is closer,
Okay.
like the data center is closer, like the Mumbai is the closer one. Suppose
Correct. Correct.
how many data centers are there in like now for the AWS?
Okay. So
Around
how many?
60, 64 or something like this.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
is there
go
any
ahead.
performance difference like between like among
Yeah, it is.
those data centers? So
Actually, go ahead. Suresh, you want to answer
because
that?
why I'm
Yes.
asking that, like if it is like the US based data center, if I wanna choose like the US based data center, if it is like the performance like the more and compared to the other data centers, so is there any like more cost to select the data center? Is that
Correct. That's a very,
cost effective or
Ashok,
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Ashok,
valid
I will
question.
give you an example. Suppose you have a client, for an example, Hotstar. Your company who hosting an Hotstar, right? So it's based on your geolocation of your client. We'll select the region, okay, to avoid the latency.
Okay, what
Oh,
Suresh is trying to tell you is, see, the what you are trying to understand. See, if I am staying in Hyderabad, and if I am having my machines in US, so definitely there is a hop. The number of hop my packets take from Hyderabad to US is more. I mean, I'm
yeah.
talking logically. But
Mhm.
if similarly, if I have something in Mumbai, okay, the number of hop my packet takes from Hyderabad to Mumbai is less. So if I am a person who is a solution architect or AWS architect, if I have been told, okay, now this application will, mostly, if can the user who are there in Mumbai or will be on India, so then I will have something like the region will be Mumbai. Okay. However, if I have something like people who are actually using more of my application, one particular application from there in, US, then I will go for something like in the Europe, this thing, US, or I will go for US one, whichever it is. So that we will actually, that can be done by that route 53. That is one thing which is there actually in that you can actually, you know, kind of, you know, design your architecture, okay, basing on your application. So, however, what you told, the latency part is absolutely correct, because the more far the data center is, the more latency it has. Okay, so the less, if I am using, if my customer are here and I am using here, then I am using this one. However, many organizations now